Why doesn't other people's advice work for you? Even when it comes from some intelligent people, smart influencers, or just people that seem to be wiser than you in your circles. If you've watched countless videos to tackle a psychological, spiritual, or developmental problem, yet no lasting changes occurred in your life, then this video is definitely for you. We'll dive into why this happens and how we can fix this. This can be such a frustrating experience. You think you'll finally improve your life, things really resonate with you for a while and then give you this spike of motivation as well, but you keep slipping back into the same old patterns. Let's break down why this is happening and find ways to eliminate these issues once and for all. In this video, I've split the content into two parts. First, we'll explore why advice doesn't work for you, and then we'll dive into practical solutions. But before we dive in, hello, I am Marta, and on this channel, we dive into the art of emotional regulation, meditation, mental discipline, self-love, and self-observation. All that is essential for full self-acceptance and for navigating our emotional lives with greater ease, enabling us to live to our fullest potential. I write a blog for women where I dive into these topics in depth and much more, and I also offer some free resources. You can check them all in the description below. Also, this channel is full of free meditations, so feel free to explore. I also offer customized affirmation tapes for sleep, so if this interests you, also check out in the description below. And now let's get back to this video. Let's start with why the advice of other people doesn't work for you. And I think that all of them applied to me at some point in my development and still sometimes do actually. Sometimes we aren't highly motivated and we slack a little, and that's okay because nobody is perfect, right? But let's dive into why the advice you seek, whether online or from people in your circles, doesn't bring the results that we hope for. These concepts fit beautifully with radical acceptance, and I made a video about this, I believe, 2 weeks ago, so you can find it in the description below or on my channel. But now let's go back to these 6 reasons. Number 1, you haven't fully defined what you actually want. Sometimes advice doesn't work because you haven't clearly identified your own goals or desires. When you're unclear about what you want, any advice can feel confusing or ineffective, or just kind of like a fun fact. People may offer advice that actually pushes you away from what you would truly make you happy, simply because you haven't yet decided what this thing is. The answers you need are already within you, but you didn't reflect on it, or maybe you lack some self-trust and don't listen to your own intuition. You constantly seek input from others and outsource this decision-making, but only you truly know what the answer is, so trust yourself that you know this. When people give you advice, your first gut instinct is often the best guide. But instead of trusting it, you might ignore it and take others' words at face value, overthinking until their advice feels like the best option simply because of their authority and the repetition of what they said in your head. But it wasn't your choice. You ignored your own inner voice. Instead of outsourcing your decisions to others, take a moment to listen to your gut instinct. Your initial reaction is usually the best advisor. Number 2, the advice doesn't apply at your current stage. You might be taking advice from people who are further along in their development journey, but their guidance is based on where they are right now and not where you are right now. They may never have been in your shoes even, offering advice on experiences that they haven't personally faced. Or if they have, they maybe forgot how it was at the stage that you are in right now. Either way, spare yourself the frustration and save yourself some time by seeking advice from those who addressed similar challenges when they were at your level that you are currently in, rather than applying advice that you're not ready for yet. Number 3, people give advice they would give themselves. They give you advice based on their own lives and experiences, advice they would give to themselves in your shoes. Even if the advice is good, it might not be the right one for you to apply it. Timing plays a crucial role in whether advice will be useful to you or simply ignored. People often give us advice they wish they'd given themselves when they were in your position. They may be driven by fear or some limiting beliefs or carry regrets or self-resentment about how they lived their lives. Remember that someone else's fear or regrets don't have to become your own. We often absorb fears of our parents, so we live with these fears or limiting beliefs that aren't even ours. If advice doesn't resonate, it might be because it's coming from the place of fear or self-limitation, not the genuine guidance. I also have a video that can help you identify your limiting beliefs, and the link is in the description below. Number 4, you are not taking any action. Consuming content without taking any steps is actually a form of procrastination. Maybe there is some self-sabotaging mechanism within you that doesn't actually want to change. But some things can't be taught, they must be experienced. For instance, you can read or watch videos on meditation all day long, but you don't feel the benefits until you actually sit down and meditate yourself. I noticed that the more content I consume, the less I feel like creating my own content, for example, for social media. So if you're a content creator, also be aware of that. And stop procrastinating through education and start taking action, no matter how small. Number 5, lack of personal alignment. The advice given may not align with your values, beliefs, or goals. When people offer advice, they do so from their own perspective, which might not reflect your unique priorities or the way you see the world. Even well-meaning advice can feel irrelevant or unhelpful if it doesn't resonate with you, with who you are, and what you truly want to achieve. Before following any advice, just ask yourself, does this align with my values and what I truly want? And number 6, misinterpretation of the advice. Sometimes advice can be misunderstood or misinterpreted. What the person meant and what you heard may not align. Communication gaps and assumptions can lead you to apply advice incorrectly or in a way that doesn't really work for your circumstances. Instead, clarify advice and reflect on how it applies to your unique circumstances before taking action. So what can we do instead? I think you generally already understand that I am a little bit against taking advice of other people, especially those in our circles, because no one has all the information or emotional context needed to make a decision for you. Only you can decide for yourself. And I say it as a person who back in the days, I was regularly asking for advice or help multiple people at the same time, hoping that they will make a decision for me, because I was just so scared and not really trusting my own judgment and my own decision making. Sometimes asking many people about the same issue just to hear their perspective can further confuse you. And it did in my case as well. I'm more in favor of leading a bit more personal life nowadays, turning into your own intuition, sitting with yourself and taking action before sharing it with others. As I explained in my video, Why Private Life is a Better Life, also link in the description, of course. It protects you from the evil eye in case it's a real thing, and your own doubts and limiting beliefs of others being projected onto you when you share the information. You don't really need this kind of energy when you're in a vulnerable place of making important decisions or growing. Seeking help online through blogs or videos can be useful, but only to offer new perspectives, something that you didn't consider yourself, for example, but not to replicate someone else's decisions in a similar situation. Treat these as a confirmation of what resonated with you, what you are already thinking about after you've made a decision or you're very close to making one. But remember that every person and circumstance is different, so always decide based on your own gut feeling. Now let's dive into what can we do instead of constantly seeking the advice of other people and getting stuck in this procrastination through education or content consumption. Be honest with yourself always and fully commit to the process. Otherwise, you'll just end up with the same old results as you did in the past. Number 1, know your why. Figure out what you want, why you're doing this. Start by understanding your deeper motivation. Why are you searching for advice? Why did you click on that particular video? Get real with yourself. What are you truly hoping to change? Knowing your why is the foundation of lasting progress. Be honest and authentic. Don't pursue change to impress others or because it's trending. Do it for you and your own happiness, always. Actionable tip: write down your motivations and reflect on them regularly. The clearer your why, the easier it is to stay on track. Number 2, limit your content consumption. Take control of your time. If you find yourself endlessly consuming videos, podcasts, or articles without taking action, then try a week-long detox. Pause the intake and just start executing. This forces you to apply the knowledge you already have instead of always searching for more. It's very easy to fall into this kind of trap. When I did that for the first time, things got a little bit ugly. So expect some sudden fears, limiting beliefs, doubts, ego backlash coming to the surface to check in and sabotage you a little bit. It's just a test. Approach this as a future version of you with confidence, thinking that this is already what you do, and deal with these emotions as I instructed in the video. You're not too emotional. Link is in the description as well. Actionable tip: set specific times to watch educational content, but make sure it's blended with actual implementation. Try to have a 1-to-1 ratio. Spend as much time applying the information as you do consuming it. Number 3, get clear on your destination. It's impossible to move forward without knowing where you're going. Imagine trying to sail without a destination. You'll be lost at sea. Journaling is one of the best tools that will help you clarify your desires. If you don't know where to begin, start by just asking yourself, how do I want my ideal day to look like? What do I want to do in the morning, during the day, and in the evening? Who do I want by my side? How do I want to feel? What kind of person do I want to show up as? Based on your answers, you'll start seeing patterns that reveal what kind of life or career you want to create. Actionable tip: journal every day for 5 to 10 minutes. Over time, you'll gain clarity on your true desires and the steps you need to take to reach them. Don't judge what comes up. Your desires are not too big. Be authentic with yourself about what you really want, even if it seems big at first. But don't suppress what you truly want. It's as bad as suppressing your emotions. They come back and just bite harder. Number 4, start small, build momentum. When figuring out your desires, go as big as you want and don't refine yourself. But big dreams can feel overwhelming, and small achievable steps are the building blocks of real change. Don't aim to climb the whole mountain at once. Take it one step at a time, compounding small adjustments into bigger changes. Reward yourself when you reach some mini goals. Celebrating progress reinforces positive habits and keeps you motivated. Actionable tip: set 3 small goals every week that align with what you want to achieve, with your bigger vision. And then reward yourself with something you enjoy once you complete them. You can ask yourself regularly, what is the smallest step possible that I can take now that will bring me closer to my goal? And when facing a decision, ask yourself, will this get me closer to my goal, or is it just a distraction? When you're unsure, choose what feels more enjoyable at the moment. Just relax, meditate, go for a walk, and clear your head, and then only make the decision. Number 5, build self-trust and listen to your intuition. This is key. If you don't believe in yourself, you continue to doubt every decision and constantly seek validation from others. Decide right now that this is your time, that you're really doing this, that you are committed. Make a conscious commitment to yourself and your growth. This is what it means to be loyal to yourself. When you build self-trust, you stop relying on the external advice and just start trusting your intuition more, because all the answers you need are already within. It's just that most of the time we don't listen because we are so wired to listen to reason instead of listening to our own intuition. Actionable tip: write down 3 non-negotiable promises to yourself and commit to keeping them daily. These can be small habits or just some actions that build your self-trust. And also you can watch the video I linked about building habits for more guidance that will help you to maintain the lasting changes. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this helps you and resonates with you. So leave a comment if it does, and share how you are embracing radical acceptance in your own intuition today. These are the videos, the YouTube things that you should watch next. And remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.